Yo, what's up everybody? It's eChoices and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of web development. We're talking about how to build a website from the ground up. Whether you're looking to share your thoughts with the world through a blog, showcase your work with an online portfolio, or even launch a full-blown e-commerce store, this is the guide for you. We're breaking down every single step of the process, and trust me, it's way easier than you might think. Now, you might be thinking, MKBHD talking websites, what's going on here? But listen, having a strong online presence is crucial in this day and age. It's like having the latest smartphone. You're missing out if you don't have one, right? And just like choosing the right phone, building a website can seem daunting with all the different options and tech jargon. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down into bite-sized pieces so you can follow along no matter your tech skill level. We'll walk you through everything from brainstorming your initial idea to the nitty-gritty details of getting your site live on the internet. I'm talking about choosing a domain name, finding the perfect hosting provider, designing a killer layout, and making sure your website looks as good on a phone as it does on a giant monitor. And by the end of this video, you'll have all the tools and knowledge you need to launch a website that not only looks amazing, but also effectively represents you or your brand online. So let's jump right into it. Before we even think about writing a single line of code or picking out fancy fonts, we need to start with a solid plan. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't just start laying bricks without a blueprint, right? The same goes for your website. First things first, define the purpose of your website. What do you want to achieve with it? Are you trying to sell products, share your photography, or maybe educate people on a specific topic? Once you've got your purpose locked down, it's time to identify your target audience. Who are you trying to reach with your website? Understanding your audience is key to creating content that resonates with them and keeps them coming back for more. Next up, let's sketch out the structure of your website. This doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a simple outline of the main pages you want to include. And last but definitely not least, you'll need to choose a domain name. This is your online address, so make it catchy, memorable, and relevant to your website's purpose. Now that we've got our blueprint ready, it's time to talk about the tools you'll need to actually build your website. And trust me, there are tons of options out there, each with its own pros and cons. One popular option is to use a website builder. These are platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or GoDaddy that offer drag-and-drop interfaces, making it super easy to create a website without touching any code. They're perfect for beginners or anyone who wants to get a website up and running quickly. If you're looking for more flexibility and control over your website, a content management system, CMS, like WordPress might be a better fit. WordPress powers a huge chunk of the internet and gives you access to thousands of themes and plugins to customize your website to your heart's content. Now, if you're feeling adventurous and want to dive into the world of coding, you can always build your website from scratch using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This gives you ultimate control, but requires some technical know-how. And lastly, if you're building an e-commerce website, platforms like Shopify, BigCommerce, or WooCommerce make it a breeze to set up an online store and start selling products. All right, we've got our plan, we've chosen our weapon. Now it's time to secure our online real estate. First up, let's talk domain names. This is your website's address on the internet, like google.com or mkadhd.com. You'll need to purchase a domain name from a registrar like GoDaddy, Namecheap, or Google Domains. Choose something relevant to your website, easy to remember, and maybe even a little catchy. Next, you'll need a hosting provider. Think of this as renting space on a server to store your website's files and make it accessible to the world. There are tons of hosting providers out there like Bluehost, HostGator, SiteGround, and many more. Each offers different plans and features, so it's worth doing your research to find one that fits your needs and budget. Once you've got your domain name and hosting account, you'll need to link them together. This process might vary slightly depending on your registrar and hosting provider, but most offer simple step-by-step instructions to guide you through it, and that's it. You've officially staked your claim on the internet. Now for the fun part, designing your website. This is where you get to unleash your creativity and bring your vision to life. If you're using a website builder or CMS, you'll likely have access to a library of pre-designed templates to choose from. These templates provide a great starting point and can save you a ton of time and effort. Once you've chosen a template, you can customize it to your liking. Change the colors, fonts, layout, and add your own branding elements to make it your own. Don't be afraid to experiment and try different things until you find a design that you love. Remember, your website's design should be visually appealing, easy to navigate, and reflect the overall tone and message of your brand. And don't forget about images and content. High-quality images and engaging content are crucial for keeping visitors hooked. Use a mix of text, images, videos, and even interactive elements to create a dynamic and engaging experience for your users. Okay, now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get a little bit technical. But don't worry, I promise it's not as intimidating as it sounds. If you're using a website builder, you can skip this chapter altogether, as most of the development work is handled for you. But if you're using a CMS like WordPress or building your site from scratch, understanding the basics of web development is essential. We're talking about HTML, the language that structures your web pages, CSS, the language that styles your website's look and feel, and JavaScript, the language that adds interactivity and dynamic elements. Depending on the complexity of your website, you might also need to delve into back-end development, which involves things like databases, server-side scripting, and user authentication. Don't feel overwhelmed if this sounds like a lot. There are tons of resources available online, like FreeCodeCamp, Codecademy, and Khan Academy, that offer comprehensive web development courses for all skill levels. Congratulations, you've built your website, but before you hit that publish button, it's crucial to give it a thorough test drive. This is like taking your new car for a spin around the block before you hit the open road. You want to make sure everything is working smoothly and that there are no unexpected surprises. First things first, test your website's responsiveness. Open it up on different devices, your phone, tablet, laptop, and even a big old monitor, to make sure it looks good and functions properly on all screen sizes. Next, check your website's browser compatibility. Make sure it looks and works correctly on all the major browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge. You don't want to alienate any potential visitors just because they're using a different browser than you. Another crucial aspect to test is your website's loading speed. Nobody likes a slow website, so make sure your pages load quickly and efficiently. You can use tools like Google PageSpeed Insights or GTmetrix to analyze your website's performance and identify any areas for improvement. And lastly, don't forget to check for broken links. These can be super frustrating for users and hurt your website's SEO. Use a broken link checker tool to scan your website and fix any broken links you find. All right, you've planned, designed, built, and tested your website. It's finally time to share it with the world. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the culmination of all your hard work. The first step is to upload your website's files to your hosting server. This process might vary slightly depending on your hosting provider, but most offer simple drag-and-drop interfaces or FTP clients to make it easy. Once your files are uploaded, it's time to publish your site. This usually involves updating your DNS settings to point your domain name to your hosting server. Again, the exact process might vary depending on your registrar and hosting provider, but they usually provide clear instructions to guide you through it. And that's it. Your website is officially live on the internet. Take a moment to celebrate, you've earned it. But the work doesn't stop there. To make sure people can actually find your website, you'll need to submit it to search engines like Google. This process is called SEO, or search engine optimization, and it involves optimizing your website's content and structure to rank higher in search results. We'll cover SEO in more detail in a future video, but for now, just make sure to submit your website to Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. Launching your website is a huge accomplishment, but it's not a one-and-done deal. To keep your website running smoothly, attract visitors, and stay ahead of the curve, you need to make website maintenance an ongoing priority. Think of it like taking care of your car. Regular checkups and tune-ups will keep it running smoothly for years to come. One of the most important aspects of website maintenance is keeping your content fresh and up to date. Regularly publish new blog posts, update product pages, and refresh your website's design to keep visitors engaged and coming back for more. Another crucial aspect is keeping your website software up to date. This includes your CMS, plugins, themes, and any other software your website relies on. Software updates often include security patches, bug fixes, and new features, so it's essential to stay on top of them. And lastly, don't forget to back up your website regularly. This is like having insurance for your website. If anything goes wrong, you'll be able to restore it to a previous version without losing any data. No matter what kind of website you're building, there are a few essential pages that every site needs to have. Think of these as the foundation of your online presence, the pages that visitors expect to find and rely on for information. First up, the home page. This is your website's front door, the first impression you make on visitors. It should clearly communicate what your website is all about and what visitors can expect to find. Next, the About Us page. This is where you get to tell your story, share your mission, and connect with visitors on a more personal level. If you're selling products or services, you'll need a dedicated page for that. Showcase your offerings, highlight their benefits, and make it easy for visitors to make a purchase. And lastly, don't forget about the Contact Us page. This is where visitors can get in touch with you, ask questions, or provide feedback. Make sure to include your email address, phone number, and social media links. And there you have it. We've covered a ton of ground in this video, from the initial planning stages to launching your website and keeping it running smoothly. I hope this step-by-step guide has given you the confidence and knowledge to start building your own website. Remember, building a website might seem daunting at first, but it's a totally achievable goal. Just take it one step at a time, don't be afraid to experiment, and most importantly, have fun with it. If you run into any roadblocks along the way, don't hesitate to reach out for help. There are tons of resources available online, from forums to tutorials to communities of fellow web developers who are always happy to lend a helping hand. And hey, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more tech tips and tutorials, and let me know in the comments what kind of website you're building. Until next time, keep creating, keep innovating, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.